Welcome. My name is Purnima. Poem 5, A Poison Tree, 10th Standard. Question Answer Part 2. Karnataka State Board Syllabus 2024-2025. English First Language Part 1. First main glossary. Wrath means anger. Poi means enemy. Wiles means tricks. Beheld means saw. Veiled means covered. Outstretched means lying dead. Apple means a possible allusion to the forbidden fruit in the Bible. Sunned means here used as a verb. Gave light and heat. Nourished. Pole means the pole star. Second main. Comprehension questions. A. Answer the following questions briefly. First main. What happened when the speaker expressed his anger? When the speaker expressed his anger to his friend, the anger dissipated and was resolved. This open communication allowed the speaker to release the negative emotions, and as a result, the anger did not linger or grow. This is in contrast to the situation with the FOI, where the speaker did not express their anger and it continued to fester and grow into something destructive. This highlights the importance of addressing and communicating one's emotions to prevent them from becoming harmful. Second question. What happened when the speaker suppressed his anger? When the speaker suppressed his anger towards his foe, the anger continued to grow and fester inside him. He nurtured this anger with fears, tears, smiles, and deceitful wiles, which allowed it to grow like a tree. Eventually, this anger bore a bright, tempting apple. The foe, unaware of the danger, stole into the speaker's garden to take the apple and was found dead beneath the tree the next morning. Third question. How are the results different in two instances? In the two instances described in the poem Poison Tree by William Blake, the results differ significantly due to how the speaker handles their anger. First option is expressed anger. Result is anger is resolved and dissipated. Description. When the speaker is angry with their friend, they choose to express their anger. This open communication allows them to resolve the conflict, and as a result, the anger does not linger or grow. The friendship remains intact, and the native negative emotions are released. Suppressed anger. Result. The anger grows and leads to destructive consequences. Description. When the speaker is angry with the foe, they suppress their anger and let it fester inside. This repressed anger is nurtured with fears, tears, smiles, and deceit, causing it to grow like a tree that eventually bears a bright, tempting apple. The foe, unaware of danger, steals into the speaker's garden to take apple and ends up dead beneath the tree. The suppressed anger leads to harmful consequences and the demise of the foe. These contrasting outcomes highlight the importance of addressing and expressing emotions to prevent them from becoming harmful and destructive. Question 4. When the poet is thinking about his anger, the picture of a tree comes to his mind. Which word in the first stanza suggests a tree? In the first stanza of A Poison Tree, the word grew suggests a tree. This word indicates the growth and development of poet's anger. Metaphorically, comparing it to the way a tree grows over time, the imagery of growth sets the stage for the extended metaphor of anger becoming a tree throughout the poem. Question number 5. The speaker helped his anger to grow. The second stanza mentions different ways in which he helped his anger grow. What are different ways? In second stanza of A Poison Tree, the speaker mentions different ways in which he helped his anger grow. These are watering it with fears. The speaker nourishes his anger with fears, allowing it to take root and grow stronger. Night and morning with tears. The speaker tears serves as additional nourishment for the anger, both day and night. Sunning it with smiles. The speaker deceives others with a smile, hiding the true nature of his anger, which allows it to flourish. Soft, deceitful wiles. The speaker uses deceitful strategies or tricks to mask his anger, further enabling its growth. By nurturing the anger with these elements, the speaker allows it to grow and develop like a tree, ultimately leading to destructive consequences. 6. Watered it in fear suggests that. Option A. The speaker did not have the courage to express his anger. B. The speaker was afraid of the consequences. The speaker didn't want to displease his enemy. The phrase watered it in fears in a poem, A Poison Tree, suggests that option B. The speaker was afraid of consequences. The speaker fears contribution to the nurturing of their suppressed anger, allowing it to grow and become more potent. This fear indicates a concern about what might happen if the anger were expressed openly. 7. The word tear suggests that Option A, the speaker too suffered for suppressing his anger. B, the enemy suffered. C, the speaker had to go through a lot of anxiety. Answer is option A. The word tear suggests that option A, the speaker too suffered for suppressing his anger. The speaker tears indicate that suppressing the anger caused them emotional pain and suffering. The act of nurturing the anger with tears shows that the speaker experienced distress and turmoil as a result of keeping the anger inside and not expressing it. 8. Stunned it with smiles suggests that option A, the speaker cunningly hid his anger with bright smiles. B, the speaker pretended that he was not angry. C, the speaker let his anger grow secretly. The phrase "sunned it with smiles" suggests that option A, the speaker cunningly hid his anger with bright smiles. This line indicates that the speaker used smiles to hide and disguise the true nature of their anger. By doing so, the speaker cunningly concealed their emotions, allowing the anger to continue growing secretly and unchecked. This deceitful behavior is a key element in development of the anger described in the poem. Question 9. Which line tells you that the speaker is a scheming and cunning friend? The line that suggests the speaker is a scheming and cunning friend is and with a soft, deceitful wiles. This line indicates that the speaker used deceitful and cunning strategies to mask their true feelings and intentions, allowing their anger to grow while outwardly pretending to be friendly and approachable. The use of soft, deceitful wiles highlights the speaker's manipulative behavior. 10. The second stanza continues the image of tree suggested in the first stanza, which words in the second stanza refer to the growing tree. In second stanza of a poison tree, the words that refer to a growing tree are water. This was just nurturing and helping something grow just like watering a tree. Sun. This word refers to providing sunlight, which is essential for tree growth. Grew. This word directly indicates growth, continuing the image of growing tree. These words contribute to extended metaphor of the anger growing like a tree throughout the poem. 11. The poet so far has been talking about option A, his suppressed anger, option B, growing tree, option C, both. The poet so far has been talking about see both in a poison tree. William Blake uses the metaphor of growing tree to describe the causes and effects of suppressed anger. The poet discusses how his anger, when expressed, grows like a tree and is nurtured by his fierce tears, smiles, and deceitful wiles. This extended metaphor this combines elements of both the suppressed anger and growing tree, illustrating the destructive power of repressed emotions. 12th, what kind of tree and fruit here apple can grow when they are nurtured by fears, tears, hypocritical smiles, and deceitful wiles? The tree that is nurtured by fears, tears, hypocritical smiles, and deceitful wiles is likely to grow into something ominous and malevolent. The fruit is it bears, in this case, an apple, would symbolize the culmination of these negative emotions and actions. Such a tree might be twisted and dark, reflecting the internal turmoil and repressed anger of the speaker. The apple, while appearing bright and tempting on the outside, would be poisonous and dangerous, representing the destructive consequence of harboring and nurturing negative emotions. The apple's outward allure would mask its inner toxicity, much like the speaker's deceitful smiles and hidden anger. This imagery emphasizes the destructive power of repressed emotions and the importance of addressing and resolving conflicts openly and honestly. 13. The word it occurs in all the four lines of third stanza. What does it refer to in each line? In the third stanza of A Poison Tree, the word it consistently refers to the anger that the speaker has been nurturing. Here's how it fits into each line. 1. And it grew both day and night. It refers to the anger growing continuously both during the day and night. 2. Till it bore an apple bright. It refers to the anger that has grown and eventually produced the bright, tempting apple. Third one. And my foe beheld it shine. It refers to the bright apple that the anger bore, which foe sees shining, and he knew that it was mine. It refers to the apple that the foe recognized as belonging to the speaker. Throughout these lines, it consistently points to the manifestation and consequences of the speaker's nurtured anger. 14. Apple in the poem refers to option A, the forbidden but tempting apple in the Garden of Eden in the Bible. B, the consequence of suppressing anger. C, the fruit of his enmity. The apple in the poem A Poison Tree refers to B, the consequence of suppressing anger, while the apple can also be seen as a symbolic reference to the forbidden and tempting apple in the Garden of Eden from the Bible. In the context of the poem, it primarily represents the result of the speaker's repressed anger. The anger, when nurtured and allowed to grow, manifests as a bright and tempting apple, which ultimately leads to the poised downfall. Thus, the apple symbolizes the destructive consequence of harboring and nurturing the unresolved anger. 15. The apple is bright because option A, it is intended to attract the foe. B, it is intended to attempt the foe. C, it is cunningly devised to hide the bitterness. Answer is option B. It is intended to tempt the foe. The brightness of the apple makes it appear attractive and irresistible, luring the foe to steal it despite the potential danger. This temptation is the result of speaker's nurtured anger, which has grown into something deceptive and destructive. The bright appearance of the apple masks its true poisonous nature, making it an effective symbol of consequences of repressed anger. 16. Who stole into the speaker's garden? The foe is the one who stole into the speaker's garden. The speaker mentions that the foe was tempted by the bright, poisonous apple and came suddenly into garden at the night to take it. This act ultimately leads to the foe's downfall as he is found outstretched beneath the tree the next morning. 17. The word stole means A. That the enemy stole the apple. B. That the enemy entered the speaker's garden stealthily. Answer is B. The word stole in this context means that the enemy entered the speaker's garden stealthily. The use of the stole suggests that the enemy snuck into the garden secretly and quietly under the cover of darkness to take the apple without being noticed. This stealthy action reflects the deceit and cunning involved in the situation. 18. What does the speaker see in the morning? In the morning, the speaker sees their foe outstretched beneath the tree. This sight confirms the destructive outcome of the speaker's nurtured and repressed anger, which ultimately led to foe's downfall. After being tempted by the bright poisonous apple, the foe's lifeless body beneath the tree symbolizes the culmination of speaker's concealed and festering anger. 19. Who do you think dies at the end? Is it only the enemy? Does the speaker also die? What kind of the death does he die? At the end of the poem, the foe is the one who physically dies beneath the tree after being tempted by the bright poisonous apple. However, The speaker also undergoes a form of death, albeit the metaphorical one. By nurturing and harboring such a intense anger and hatred, the speaker's moral and emotional state deteriorates. This internal death reflects a loss of compassion, integrity, and peace of mind. The speaker's act of nurturing anger and deceit ultimately transforms them into someone capable of causing harm to another, indicating the spiritual and or moral decay. In this sense, the speaker dies internally as negative emotions consume them and lead to destructive actions. So, while the enemy physically dies, the speaker experiences the metaphorical death, losing aspects of their humanity and emotional well being. 20. The poison tree could refer to option A, the tree of hatred and enmity grown by the seed of suppressed anger. B, the destructive effect of being hypocritical and deceitful. C, the spiritual death of a person for nurturing base poisons. Answer is option A, the tree of hatred and enmity grown by the seed of suppressed anger. This option emphasizes the central metaphor of the poem, where suppressed anger is likened to tree that grows and ultimately bears the poisonous fruit. The tree represents the buildup of hatred and enmity that results from not expressing one's anger. B. Close study. Read the following extracts carefully, discuss in pairs, and then write the answers to the questions given below them. 1. And into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole. A. Who stole into the garden? 1. The foe or enemy stole into the garden. B. Why did he steal into the garden? The foe stole into the garden to take the bright, tempting apple that had grown from the speaker's nurtured anger. The foe was enticed by the apple's allure and entered the garden stealthily to obtain it. The explained phrases veiled the pole. The phrase veiled the pole is a poetic way of saying that it was night time and the sky was dark, covering or veiling the pole star, Polaris. In this context, the pole likely refers to the North Star, which is situated nearly directly above the North Pole. When the night falls, the darkness of the sky hides or veils the pole star, setting the scene for the for stealthy actions in the cover of night. And I sunned it with a smile and with a soft, deceitful while. A. What does the word sun suggest? The word sun suggests that the speaker provided nourishment and encouragement for the anger to grow, much like how sunlight helps a tree to thrive. In this context, the speaker's smiles act as a form of deceptive nourishment, masking the true feelings of anger. B. Explain the phrase deceitful wiles. The phrase deceitful wiles refers to cunning and deceptive strategies or tricks. The speaker uses these deceitful methods to hide their true emotions and intentions, misleading others into believing they are friendly and approachable while strictly harboring anger. C. Why had the speaker sunned it? The speaker had sunned the anger to help it grow and fester. By using smiles and deceitful wiles, the speaker effectively concealed their true feelings, allowing the anger to develop and become more potent. This nurturing of the anger ultimately leads to the destructive consequences depicted in the poem. Third main paragraph writing. Discuss in pairs or the groups of four each the answers to the following questions. Note down the important points and then develop them into paragraphs. 1. How does the poet use the image of the tree to bring out the destructive effect of suppressed anger? Important no points. First one is extended metaphor. Poet uses an extended metaphor comparing the suppressed anger to a growing tree to illustrate how unexpressed emotions can develop and become more harmful over time. Second is nurturing the anger. The speaker nurtures the anger with the fears, tears, and hypocritical smiles and deceitful wiles, much like watering and providing sunlight to a tree. This shows how the anger is fed and allowed to grow. Third one, growth and development. The anger, like a tree, grows both day and night, indicating the continuous and unchecked development of negative emotions when they are not addressed. Option number four, bearing fruit. The anger eventually bears the fruit in the form of bright, tempting apple. This symbolizes the tangible, harmful consequences of suppressed anger. Fifth one, temptation and destruction. The bright apple attempts the foe, leading to his downfall. This highlights the destructive power of repressed anger, which can lure and harm others when it is finally manifest. Sixth outcome. The forced death beneath the tree illustrates the ultimate consequence of harboring and nurturing anger. The speaker's anger results in literal death, symbolizing the extreme harm that suppressed the negative emotions can cause. Developed paragraph. In A Poison Tree, William Blake uses the image of a tree to vividly illustrate the destructive effect of the suppressed anger. Through an extended metaphor, Blake compares the speaker's unexpressed anger to a growing tree, emphasizing how negative emotions can develop and become more harmful over time. When left unchecked, the speaker nurtures this anger with fierce tears and hypocritical smiles and deceitful wiles, much like watering and providing sunlight to a tree. This nurturing allows the anger to grow continuously both day and night until it eventually bears fruit in the form of a bright, tempting apple. The apple, symbolizing the tangible consequences of suppressed anger, lures the poet into the garden, leading to his downfall. The poet's death beneath the tree serves as a powerful illustration of the ultimate harm that repressed anger can cause, underscoring the importance of addressing and resolving negative emotions rather than letting them fester. Fourth one, activities. Discuss the following in groups of four each. One in such a group notes down the important points. Share the group's findings with the neighboring group. One, do you think the speaker was right in being glad at his forced death? Why? Why not? In A Poison Tree by the William Blake, the speaker's gladness at his forced death raises significant moral and ethical questions. From a moral perspective, feeling glad about someone's death, regardless of the circumstances, challenges fundamental ethical principles. The destructive nature of repressed anger and the consequences of seeking revenge are evident in the poem, highlighting the speaker's sense of vindication and release of built up anger. However, the ethical implications of the speaker's actions, which directly led to the forced death, cannot be overlooked. The speaker's behavior suggests a degree of responsibility for the outcome, raising questions about the justifiability of such actions. Internally, the speaker may experience guilt, moral decay, or a form of spiritual death, indicating the profound impact of harboring and nurturing negative emotions. The situation might have been different if the speaker had chosen to express their anger constructively, emphasizing the importance of communication and conflict resolution in preventing harmful outcomes. Thus, while the speaker's gladness may be understandable from an emotional standpoint, it is difficult to justify ethically and morally. So, what has happened to his own garden now with the poison tree? Was he happy in growing a poison tree? In the poem A Poison Tree, the speaker's garden has become tainted with the presence of poison tree, which symbolizes the nurtured and suppressed anger. The garden, once a place of growth and potential harmony, has been corrupted by the negative emotions that the speaker allowed to fester and grow. The poison tree represents the destructive consequences of harboring unresolved anger and deceit. The poem does not explicitly state whether the speaker was happy in growing the poison tree. However, the speaker's actions and the outcome suggest a complex emotional state. While the speaker may have felt a sense of vindication and or satisfaction in seeing the foe's demise, this happiness is likely overshadowed by the moral and emotional decay that results from nurturing such negative emotions. The speaker's internal turmoil, guilt, the spiritual death indicate that the ultimate result of growing the poison tree is not true happiness, but rather a profound sense of loss and destruction. The presence of the poison tree in the garden serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of addressing and resolving conflicts openly and honestly, rather than allowing negative emotions to fester or lead to harmful consequences. Third one, how could he have avoided planting a poison tree? The speaker could have avoided planting a poison tree by taking several positive actions to address and resolve his anger constructively. Here are some ways he could have done this. First one, expressing anger. Openly communicating his anger with his foe, as he had with his friend, would have prevented the anger from festering and growing. This honest expression could have led to a resolution and reconciliation. Two, seeking understanding. Trying to understand the root cause of the conflict with his foe and addressing any misunderstandings or grievances directly could have helped diffuse the anger. Third, practicing forgiveness. Choosing to forgive his foe rather than holding on to the anger would have prevented the negative emotions from taking root and growing. Fourth one, emotional release. Finding the healthy outlets for his emotions, such as talking to a trusted friend, engaging in physical activities, or practicing mindfulness techniques, would have helped the speaker release the pent up anger. Fifth, conflict resolution. Employing conflict resolution strategies such as mediation, or seeking help from a third party would have provided a constructive way to address the disagreement with his foe. Sixth, self reflection. Reflecting on his own emotions and the impact of harboring anger could have helped the speaker recognize the importance of addressing and resolving negative feelings. By taking these proactive steps, the speaker could have avoided nurturing his anger into destructive force, thereby preventing the metaphorical poison tree from growing and causing harm. Fourth, the teacher reads aloud the first two lines four times. Close your eyes and listen to each sound carefully. Which sounds are repeated in two lines? The consonant sounds R and D are repeated for 5 times respectively. When the consonant sounds appearing at the beginning of closely placed words are repeated, it is called alliteration. R in the wrath. When the consonant sounds appearing elsewhere in the closely placed words are repeated, it is called consonant. D in the friend, told, did, and R in angry, friend. Being aware of such a delicate sound devices help you in enjoying the poem. A. Pick out a few more examples of alliteration from the poem. Examples of alliteration are I was angry with my friend. The repeated W sound in was and with. I told my wrath. The repeated W sound in told and wrath. TT. Where W it is T sound it is. Okay. Not W. And it grew both day and night. The repeated D sound in day and night. Pick out a few more examples of consonants from the poem. Examples of T consonants and with the soft deceitful vowels. Repeated T sound, soft deceitful. Sound with soft deceitful. Till it bore an apple bright. T sound in till and right. My foe beheld it shine. The repeated D sound in the beheld. Held. D sound is in beheld, not in fo and beheld. In fo. Oh, not D sound is not there in fo. It is only beheld it is. Next one, read the four rhyming words of the stanza 3. Which vowel sound is repeated? The four rhyming words in this stanza are night, bright, shine, mine. The repeated vowel sound in these rhyming words is the long I sound, as in night, bright, shine, mine. This repetition of the long I sound contributes to the musical quality and cohesion of the poem. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and save the playlist. Thank you very much. Bye.